put a note in the chat. We'll start with Chris McCoskey.
Hey, Eric, thanks for doing this. Your catch in there is 2 strikes on Abreu. They think he's throwing, but AJ made it pretty clear that the last thing you wanted to do with 2 strikes after you guys got him back in the game is hit Abreu there. Can you kind of take us through? Were you surprised by his reaction, or do you think he was reacting just from the pain of it?
I think just from the pain. Like you said, 1-run ball game, 1 out, 0-2. We're not trying to hit anybody there, but the fact of the matter is we did hit him. So, if he's pissed off and stuff, rightly so. He just got beamed. But what followed after, I kind of didn't expect that.
The slide, you mean the slide and then him reacting to Nico that way?
No, I mean, the game's got a way of taking care of itself. We hit him. He goes in aggressively. I thought it might just be kind of done there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we have a couple more games against these guys, and intentions kind of go out the window sometimes. We didn't mean to, but we did, and he went in hard, and he clearly felt a way about it, and it just kind of is what it is.
The way you guys came back in this one, Eric, kind of like you guys went from 0 to 60 there in the 8th, because you looked dead in the water up until that point. What could you point to anything that kind of sparked it, or did they just give you a couple free bases and you guys took care of the rest with your hit and with Nico's hit?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the difference just overall in the big leagues. You make a couple guys work, a couple free passes here and there, a couple base hits, you're right back in the ball game. I can kind of build up quicker than you think. And we've been on the receiving end a couple times of that too. So I just think this team, we fight to the last out, and that was just another example of it today. We just come up a little short.
What did you see from Matt today? He looked out of sorts. I don't know if you saw anything in his delivery or just what did you see from Matt?
Didn't look out of sorts to me. He was just missing. He was pretty good for those first 3 innings, and then just a solo homer. And I think he might have been trying just to nitpick a little bit.
Okay.
And that's one of those things. You give a free base here and there, base hit. You're in a little bit more trouble than you want. So overall, I think his stuff was good. I think he got some really bad swings from some good hitters on some good stuff. So overall, I thought it was pretty good. Other than like I said, giving away a couple free bases.
Thank you,
Evan Petzold.
Eric, yeah, with that home run that Matt allowed, I mean, do you feel like that kind of got in his head a little bit or anything like that? Because it was 3 straight walks, right after that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about getting in his head. I just think that he might have just been trying to be a little too fine. It's hard. Obviously, you're not trying to feed him fastballs right down the middle. But when you're walking guys, you kind of get back in that corner. So it's just one of those things. I think that might have been a little too careful.
And then also too, can you just kind of describe how the intensity of this game changed, both considering, your comeback and then, what happened there on the field and the way that everything ended? Just how did the intensity change throughout this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of been intense regardless, when we're playing them. They obviously have a very good team, and we've come back on them a couple of times. They beat us pretty good. We beat them pretty good. So I think it's just been a constant battle all year, and maybe just built up a little bit, kind of us creeping back into that game.
For sure. All right, thank you.
Trevor Thompson.
Yeah, Eric, final home game of the year, and I just wondered if you could reflect on the year and what it's meant to you personally to have the opportunity you had to play for the Tigers in front of your hometown this year, and how it went for you, and just to reflect on that now that the rest of the games are on the road. Thanks.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, just to have some good baseball back in Detroit, the crowd really starting to feel it. And obviously Mickey chasing these milestones has kind of been giving us a little push, but the crowds have been great. And, I think the next couple of years are going to be really good for the Tigers.
I was more talking about you personally, though, to have this opportunity for yourself and for your family, and how special that might have been for you.
Very special. I mean, anytime I can be in the big leagues, it's obviously fantastic, but to be doing it, 20 minutes down the road is even better.
Thanks, Trevor. Jason Beck.
Hey, Eric. How difficult is Hendricks, even in normal circumstances? But then after everything, he looked pretty hyped up. Just how tough and at bat is that when his intensity gets ramped up even more than normal?
Yeah, I mean, he's a high intensity guy. I mean, he's going to attack you. He's going to go right after you. mean, he's an all-star closer for a reason. You know, he's in those high leverage situations. He's comfortable in them. And I think that this team has shown over and over again that doesn't matter, you know, what bullpen we're facing. You know, we put a couple runs on some of the best bullpens in baseball. So, you know, even though he's got pretty good stuff, you know, it's not like we're backing down from any type of challenge.
And, you know, the last few starts, have you noticed anything in particular with Manning and his commands? You know, I believe that's like something like 11 walks over the last 3 or 4 starts. I think it's like more walks than hits allowed. Is there something there just late in the season with command or something?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it looks a little different from your guys' perspective, you know. But from my perspective, he's not missing by much. You know, he's missing a little bit here and there, you know, falling behind. You got to come back into the zone. So just falling behind from pitch one makes it kind of tough to claw your way back in there. So, you know, I think that his stuff is fine. You know, he's going to be good going forward.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Take one more for Eric. Evan Woodbury.
Hey, Eric, I was just wondering, sometimes in baseball, when these incidents happen, it's 3 months before you see the team again. And so there's plenty of time for stuff to simmer down. But you guys are going to see them in 3 days. Do you expect any carryover when you play them again?
You know, I wouldn't think so. But, you know, at the same time, the game's got a way of taking care of itself. And, you know, we're obviously not out trying to get anybody hurt. I know they're in a playoff push. They're not trying to get any of their guys hurt. So, you know, we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get to it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Evan. It's the last question we have. Eric, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
We're working on Alex Lang, so we'll let you guys know here in a second on that.